Hello, my friends in film fandom, wherever you may be and however you may be watching. Thank you for giving us just a little bit of your time. In tonight's episode, I'm going to shit on all but one of our topics, and Tex is going to profess his love for A1 sauce. Before we get to all that, let me introduce all my amazing co-hosts, starting with the Dowager Countess, Lady Cora. How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm here.
She's all right. She's doing okay.
She's back.
Life's
She's
crazy.
feeling...
I'm buying a house in a very short time period, and let me tell you, renting sounds really appealing after all this shit you got to do when you're buying a house.
It never stops, so.
Yeah, it never really stops.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But joining us also is my hetero life mate, Jeremy. What's up, my brother?
Not too bad. I know I just shattered the illusion. I guess I do, in fact, have hair on top of my head. I know I wear the hat, but it's cold here.
Oh, I declare.
I know.
Sorry.
All that. This was the result of all that wind we just had today, like some 60-mile-an-hour winds or some crazy shit like that. So, yeah.
But it was like 65 degrees, so it was totally worth it.
True, but it also, I mean, I came back and it was sunny, it was warm, nice, and then literally 45 minutes later, it was gloomy, overcast, cold, and windy. So we're not joking when we say just wait an hour. If you just don't like it, just wait.
And somebody who is not used to getting any adverse weather at all, which is why he cries like a little girl every time it gets below 40 degrees, is the Shake from the Lone Star State, our man Tex. What's up, brother?
You know, with friends like y'all, who needs enemies? You know what I'm saying? But no, I will say, and I stand by my word, anybody who puts A1 on a steak deserves the death penalty. You need the electric chair, Frank.
I do that. I do that.
Well, to the camp.
You know what I
I'm
actually
sorry.
do, Tex? I actually take equal parts sour cream and A1 and mix that up, and then I slaughter my steak in that. Actually.
Okay, that's a little weird.
Why don't you just eat the? I can't eat it. You're starving.
I hold true to what I said on Twitter earlier. It depends on who's cooking the steak and how.
I was trying to find a gift.
If it's properly seasoned and if it's cooked right, then yes, the steak is just fine on its own. But I have a couple of friends who have no idea how to cook steak, and they're just like you.
Well, then don't eat at their houses.
They're anti A1, but they're the people that will like put some salt and pepper on a steak and then throw it in the oven and cook it for like 30 minutes and then consider it done. And I'm like, no, you cook steak over an open flame. You properly season it, you sear it on all sides, and you cook it over on indirect heat. Put the lid on the barbecue and cook it on indirect heat until it reaches medium at the most. I can do medium rare in a pinch, but medium at the most for me. I like
anything over medium is burnt. That's the rule. Anything over medium is burnt.
Medium
that's too much.
I have this adversity to raw meat. I just worked in restaurants for too long, and like anything too raw bothers me. It worries me. But I still want the juices. So medium is where it's at for me. It's cooked enough to where I'm comfortable.
But now knowing, actually, Frank, I can forgive your sins for what Cora just said because by comparison, Frank's in the clear. This A1 and sour cream mixed together on top of a steak.
You didn't know it could have gotten so much weirder.
100%.
I might have to throw you in front of a moving bus. I'm not even playing. Just, Wile E. Coyote style. You're out of here.
Oh, I was thinking Final Destination.
All right. Whatever. Cool.
But that might be a whole video on its own.
I was going to say, we can start yelling about steak if y'all want to, but that's a different kind of show. So,
But plenty to talk about tonight. Lady Cora, what's the first story we're going into tonight?
Well, let's see. Sony Pictures is moving forward with another sequel for the teen horror franchise I Know What You Did Last Summer, with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. in talks to return. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that the project, which dips into the late 90s nostalgia, is in the earliest stages of development and talent deals have yet to be fully hammered out, according to sources. The original version, which starred Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, and Prinze, was scripted by Scream scribe Kevin Williamson and grossed $125 million at the worldwide box office. Jeremy, are you as excited as I am for another film in the franchise? Because let me tell you, this was hot shit when I was a teenager.
Well, I'm surprised we asked me first and not Tex, because I know Frank doesn't give a shit about anything that happened in the 90s, so I don't know why.
I knew he was going to go there. I knew Jeremy was going to go there. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, because Frank definitely didn't write that lead in. You know what? Yeah, in terms of some 90s, I guess, slasher movie, horror, teen, whatever movie, this is one of the good ones. It was fun. It's a fun movie to, you don't expect to run somebody over and during your summer fun and try to cover it up and comes back to bite you.
Sometimes life happens.
Well, I mean, if it happens like that, Jesus. Next summer, someone. I mean, it's kind of it's scary. All of a sudden, someone's like, "Oh, I know what you did," and it's like, "Oh shit, who squealed or what happened? Who knows? Who is it? Everyone's a suspect." That's the wrong movie, but whatever.
That's the wrong franchise, sir.
You said Scream, so whatever. It's kind of the same. Anybody can do. Yeah. Also, I mean the cast even at the time, some heavy hitters there. I don't know. This is supposed to be a prequel, right?
Sequel.
I don't know.
This is going to be a sequel, as I read it.
Oh, I thought you said prequel because I'm like, what are we going to call it? I know what you're going to do next summer, like.
Well,
because the sequel is I Still Know What You Did, right? So.
Well, let's see. They did 2. I think they did 3, but only 2 of them were like actually in the theater. I'm pretty sure there was 3.
Yeah, wasn't 3 just like kind of direct to video or whatever?
Yeah, I think that was a direct to video thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
2 wasn't still bad, but I don't know. I don't know where we go. I feel like I'm going to say this with every damn story today because I'm just like, where are we going with this and why?
Well,
if we're assuming that all the people are coming back, I mean, that's kind of fun, but I think we said that in the thing. It's like all we're doing is just return. I think you need to change the title of this video to everyone returning to Legacy for sequels because I think that's what we've been doing for the past 10 years. And it's getting on my damn nerves. And I know people will be like, well, why don't you write something? Like, I didn't say I could, but it has been done and there's been unique things that have come out. But we're just beating all these franchises in the ground. And, we've been talking about fatigue, even Disney fatigue and Marvel fatigue. We're not to the Disney part of the show yet, but I'm just saying it's kind of just beating a dead horse. I know we're not to the Disney part because Tex flipped us all off in the first 2 seconds of the video. So this isn't Disney. We're going backwards.
Well, Tex, what do you think? I mean, it's horror, but it's
look. I've got a better horror shirt on today. Damn it! Boom.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah,
is a essential July the 4th film. I have always said that since it came out. It is one of those movies that with Independence Day and Jaws that you need to watch on July the 4th. And
Independence Day, damn.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know what you did last time. I mean, the whole point of the film takes place on July the 4th. It's just one of those deals.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Now, Jeremy, I am kind of upset that you didn't start talking with, whenever Frank asked you about this, with the famous line from this film, "I'm right here. What are you waiting for?" Which Jennifer Love Hewitt screams to the sky.
Right.
Yeah, with
it was living in my head there for a few seconds on loop, and I'm like,
I was waiting to see if you were going to drop that line, and I was like, dang, he didn't drop it. I'm going to have to pick up that rebound here. But it's okay.
Please, yeah.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort. So.
Just know I tried. It was the thought that counts.
But yeah, no, I know what you did last summer. It's obviously, the whole urban legend of the teens go up to the makeout point and they hear a scratching on the car door and then there's a hook hanging from the handle when they get home. This is a live action version of that. This is what it's always been. I mean, this film was written and made by Kevin Williamson because Scream was such a huge hit that they're like, hey, do it again. And they made like $125 some odd million. So it's no surprise that Scream came back. So I know what you did last summer is going to come back. I could see Urban Legends making a comeback in the future as well, because that's another one that was made. But, this is it's a cheesy 90s teen slasher. It's not as gory or bloody as the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th, but it's a solid film. It's It's not going to win any Oscars anytime soon. It's not a Mount Rushmore slasher film, but it's a fun movie to watch. And you know, we had Jennifer Love Hewitt, Texas girl. God bless her. I always loved her. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr. What's the guy? The guy from Big Bang Theory and Roseanne. What's his face? Johnny Galecki, or
John Galecki.
Yeah, he was in this one. I mean, you have a leg. I mean, I think they had was it Brandy or Moesha in the second one? I can't remember. But they've had some big names. Was it Brandy?
Brandy played Moesha. Brandy played Moesha.
Okay, she played Moesha, yeah. So, I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's got some big names that have been in this series.
Yes.
Obviously, if this is a true sequel, now I don't know if they're going to do the requel thing or how they're going to play it out. That's yet to be determined. But I would, if they just go by what came before, then Sarah Michelle Gellar can't come back unless it's flashbacks. But I would like to see maybe a retcon where her death was undone at the hospital somehow or something, because I would like to see her come back as well. But I'm excited for this. I was happy when I saw this news. I mean, like I said, anytime I can get more slashers in the theaters, I'm happy for it. So I'm down.
Just like how Letty definitely died in Fast and the Furious in the car crash. And you're like, no, she didn't. How? No,
right.
She didn't.
Or
yes, she did.
Or just like Han in Fast and Furious. Or just like apparently
no.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I know what he's going to
say.
say.
One piece of dialogue from explaining away the impossible.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Whether you like the explanation or not, it's just one piece of dialogue.
Oh, well, he died in the explosion when his car crashed. Then they rushed him to the burn unit at the hospital, and he healed overnight. Everything's fine. That's all you got to do. It's that easy. Jesus was looking down and saw his body burning to death, and boop, he blipped him out and fixed him. No, like I said, I'm excited for this. I don't know how good it'll do. Obviously, horror fans like myself will go rush to the theater to see it because we're addicted to this stuff. But I hope it has that same campy '90s kind of cheese to it that the first two did. Especially number 2, when you have Jack Black with freaking braids in his hair like he's Jamaican or something. Like, come on. You can't take this too seriously. So.
And they're going to have to do the screaming to the sky because they did it in the first.
Oh, they have to redo that scene. They have to redo it. I mean, Scary Movie did that scene. Come on now.
Yeah.
They have to rip their own selves off if freaking Scary Movie's ripping you off. So
it's a very meme-worthy scene. It was just really overdone.
Oh, 100%.
I remember I have never rolled my eyes that hard at a movie in my entire life. I was like, come on, really? You could have made it more subtle. But anyway, Lady Cora, you were obviously showing some excitement about this as you were reading the lead-in. What are some of your thoughts about I Know What You Did Last Summer coming back for yet another movie?
Well, I'm going to watch it for sure because, I mean, I was a teenager when these came out. So, it was a big deal for me and my friends. And I'm excited for it. A lot more than I would say excited for, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey coming up.
Oh, you have no taste in film. You do not know what cinema is.
I think I'm as excited as I am to see this as I am to put sour cream on my steak.
Oh, go to hell. You just go straight to hell. There's no get out of jail free card. You just stay there.
La 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 la.
Can you be sick
I personally, I would love to go see this movie in theaters, except I think that day I'm going to have a meeting with a guy about buying a horse or something like that.
Wow, for you to say you don't want to see a movie, that's big. I mean, you want to see everything.
Well,
so
I saw the original. I saw the two, and like the first one, I was like, meh. It's not great. It's not. There wasn't anything that stood out that was truly positive about it. Like I said, this entire era of horror movies are awful. This is not a good franchise at all to me. I mean, I understand.
Is it worse
some
than
people
Fast
like
and
it. At the
Furious?
same time, I'm like, I don't. As bad. I mean, no. Well, I mean, as bad. The first couple of Fast and Furious movies I thought were decent.
Strong word.
I mean, like
first ones were good.
The first Fast and Furious and the second one. Tokyo Drift was not good, and then when they started to get like the all-star casting, I was like, okay, but But for me, that whole franchise died with Paul Walker. It was getting a little bit ridiculous, like more and more movies.
Fair.
And after Paul Walker died, they were just like, we're going to go full stupid. And this franchise, the I Know What You Did Last Summer, kind of started off full stupid. It was like the acting wasn't great. And look, I'm a Jennifer Love Hewitt fan all the way back to the Kids Incorporated days of the early mid '80s. That's how old I am, for those of you who don't know. And
her hair is fabulous, boy.
The acting was
Her
terrible.
hair was great.
It
still is.
It wasn't good. I can understand. Look, I know there's different genres of horror. There's horror comedy, sci-fi horror, so on and so on. But if horror doesn't have a great deal of blood and a great deal of really awesome kills and a great deal of visuals, then to me it's kind of pointless. It was very G-rated horror. It was very kiddie horror. And I can't stand that. That stuff to me is just boring as shit. But here's why they're going to go after this now, because rehashing shit has become the thing. It's like they came out with the new Halloween trilogy. They brought Jamie Lee Curtis back in elderly form. They did this pretty much the same thing with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the sequel that came out on Netflix a while back. It's getting the treatment for not just horror films, lots of other things. So they're like, why not go back to this thing that kids that were born in like the 1980s were really into back in 1996, because now they're all 30 something and they're all our target audience, and we want to try to suck these guys back into the theaters by touching on their little bit of their little nostalgic button. To me personally, I just don't care. It wasn't that good of a franchise. It was not that good of a franchise in an era where the entire genre was suffering really, really badly from creative lag. So, I mean, will I give? I mean, I don't know, when it drops on streaming, I might give it a go. But you know, you know what I say. If the trailer's fire, I'll give it a chance. But I gotta be honest, I can't see this trailer being all good enough to get me sucked into like oh my god, I have to go see this movie. Like, this is gonna be so much better than all the other 27 movies they made. This would be like the fifth one, something like that. I don't know. Jeremy, help me out here.
I think this is the movie?
I don't know.
I don't know. I only saw the first two.
I think about it.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, because
if you want to get me. If you want to get me to the theater, you really got to impress me with the trailer, and I don't see it happening.
I hope the last line, the last bomb drop of that trailer is her going like, "What do you want from me?" and cut the black.
Well,
I want them to not do that, because that line was annoying to me.
You also have
that in the trailer. I'm like, switched off, not going.
Well, I think some context is needed here, though. It's just like I said, this was never meant to be a Sam Raimi level bloody film.
No.
This was entry level slasher film, just barely above like a Lifetime movie is where I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of rests in the gore for it.
Yeah.
And it was meant to get, because Scream was a huge hit the year before, so this was a copier of that, and Kevin Williamson took the urban myth or the urban legend, whatever, of, like I said, the hook on the door, and they fleshed out, if you want to call it a plot, because there's not really much plot to it. No. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, just, actually, quite often, things that are plot heavy get in the way of the story because they have to squeeze so much in. But, if this movie, as long as this movie is fun, it'll be a success. Because the first one was fun and it was a success. The second one, not as much. It had its moments, but it is what it is. But I don't know. Like, I think this has its place. This does feel more like a streaming project to me by Hulu or Netflix or somebody, but I'll go support it in the theater. So I'm down for it.
I think it's not like the kind of horror movies that we all watch. Like, we love seeing people get hacked apart.
Oh, yeah.
Blood and guts everywhere and crap like that.
Right.
But I mean, to anyone who doesn't really do that, it's something that just about anybody can
watch. Look at Cora. I mean, this is a film Cora likes,
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
It is what it is.
It's not so much that I like the movie. It's okay. Let's put it this way. It's nostalgic. I mean, this I'll give you an example. Mission Impossible, the original movie, was the very first movie I was allowed to go see at a theater by myself with my friends back in 1995. Okay,
man,
the movie wasn't that great, but it's still sentimental to me. So this movie is sentimental because I watched it with my friends in high school. I mean,
that's fair.
Now, I do request that they have Jennifer Love Hughes' tits. I mean, Hewitt. Excuse me, I always get her name mixed up.
Her hair.
In the tight white shirt, standing out in the rain, screaming
Yeah.
like Jeremy said. That is one scene that I do need to have in this film. If you give me that scene, I will praise it on the internet. Whoever's making
She's
Well,
aged
why don't
pretty
you just
well.
why don't you just go on YouTube and watch videos? Why don't you just go on YouTube and watch videos of t-shirt contests?
I can do
It's
that
free.
too, but that doesn't mean we can't also have it in the movie, Frank. I mean, we need more, obviously. You know, sex sells here. Come on, get with the picture.
Do we need more?
Yes, Cora, we do. I've had enough of you and your sour cream steaks. You just hush. Okay?
What?
Yes.
That reminds me, there's a poll in the chat. We're going to settle this thing with the poll in the chat. Right now, it's actually 50-50 with 8 votes. Do you use A1 on steak? Go in the chat and make sure you vote in the poll.
If you use A1 on steak, you are a heathen. If you use A1 on steak, you should be removed from your parents' will and disowned by your family. That's what I say.
Frank, I was really trying to find a gif of Hank Hill where he's like, "It's firm but little give." Yeah, these are medium rare. What if somebody wants them well done? We ask them to leave.
And what's one thing that you never saw Hank Hill do? Put sauce on a steak. Why? Because prepared properly, you don't need that shit.
Propane.
But yeah, I mean that's the poop right now on I Know What You Did Last Summer, another sequel coming out, apparently bringing back part of the cast. So go down in the comments below, let us know what you guys think.
Frank cannot wait to see it, obviously. So excited.
I cannot wait to whatever. Look, like I said, if the trailer comes out and the trailer's awesome, I might say, okay, I'll give this movie a chance. But if the trailer comes out and it's the same old blah, then I'll wait for it to hit Netflix or Hulu or whatever the hell streaming service you end up on, and then I'll try to watch it because, since I have to pay for it. All it's going to cost me is time that I'll never get back. But yeah, go to the comments below and let us know what you guys think about a potential sequel for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Lady Cora, what's the next topic we'll be going into tonight?
It will be a while before fans see Marvel's highly anticipated iteration of the Fantastic Four, especially after it was delayed all the way to Valentine's Day 2025. But director Matt Shakman was able to give some insight as to when filming starts. The WandaVision helmer revealed that filming on the project kicks off, quote, early next year, and that it'll be his priority going forward. With Fantastic Four so far out, Shakman was also able to quash any casting rumors that have been floating around about the film. There's been no end to speculation, particularly surrounding the role of Mr. Fantastic, which John Krasinski most recently occupied in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Frank, what do you think of the news of a filming day for Fantastic Four?
This sounds about right. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while now, since they made the official announcement that Fantastic Four was actually going to happen. Yeah, there's been lots of talk about casting, but, what have I been saying for a while? That we're probably going to get casting news sometime around Comic-Con. That would make it about 6 months before filming starts, 6 to 8 months, because Comic-Con's in July, and they start filming early 2024 is what was said. We don't know exact month. I'm assuming January, February. So that's right about the time they would start doing some casting announcements. So I would imagine that they're organizing a big Comic-Con thing, and one of the things they're going to do to try to win Comic-Con this year is they're going to roll out there with the entire cast of Fantastic Four, and we're going to get our look at the first family of Marvel. That makes perfect sense time-wise. In the MCU, I'm not so sure, because again, I mean, Blade had to move because they were having problems getting that movie together. We have plenty of stuff coming out over the course of the next year and a half, so I mean, they got to figure out how it's all going to fit in there story-wise for the bigger overarching story of the MCU. So yeah, this sounds about right. All I know is I'm just ready to see it. I mean, announce who you're going to announce as the cast. I'm tired of names being bantied back and forth. I'm tired of Krasinski. Yes, Krasinski no. Is he actually going to stick around? I personally think it's going to be Krasinski. I think they're just trying to keep a lid on it. Like I said, I think he's been signed on for about 3 years now, but everything being screwed up, filming schedules for the pandemic and all that, it's just been what's keeping them from announcing it. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm glad this is finally happening. We're finally moving on into that stuff that they bought from Fox. We're getting into this. We're getting the X-Men. I mean, we're starting to get into that stuff. So this is going to be a very important piece for Marvel because we got through the Infinity Saga. We've lost Iron Man and Black Widow, and we assume that Captain America, or Steve Rogers rather, is done now. So we have to move in these other characters that can help. They can be the cornerstones of your universe for the next 20 films while you're trying to figure out if you're going to fight Galactus or if you're going to fight, the Silver Surfer or Doctor Doom or whoever. So yeah, I'm ready for this. It's right in the timeline that I thought it would be. I don't know. Tex, what do you think?
I think they already know who their Fantastic Four is, and scenes have already been shot that you'll get revealed in Ant-Man Quantumania. That's my little prediction that is going to happen. That's why they're not worried about, as of right now, casting announcements or anything else. I do want to see this film. I do want to see a quality Doctor Doom as the villain of this film because he's one of the few Marvel villains that I actually care about, that I've actually wanted to see. And he was probably the only bright spot of those old Fantastic Four films that we got in the early 2000s. I did think Doom was pretty cool. And I'm not talking about the latest one, that weird Fan Four Stick movie or whatever it was called.
We don't talk about that one.
Right, we don't talk about that one. Like I said,
what would you think if they made Doctor Doom a girl?
Why not? I would not be surprised.
I'm not cornering you. I'm actually asking. Do you think it could work?
Well, if they do that and it doesn't work, they're going to say, "Oh, well, this is the Earth blah 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 version." It's the whole multiverse thing. But I want a true Doctor Doom from Latveria. Give me the real one, not some agenda-filled woke version, but the actual version of Doctor Doom. Mm-hmm. Someone who uses magic, who does the whole thing, and I'm excited for it. I do want to see it. It's the Fantastic Four are desperately needed because right now Marvel's working with a handful of characters that aren't even the main characters from the stories that they come from. I mean, we don't have Iron Man or Captain America anymore. We have the sidekicks. So it's like Frank said, we need the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Spider-Man to kind of carry the load right now. So I don't know. I do think it's John Krasinski, though. I do think he is the main Mr. Fantastic. I do. Emily Blunt. Obviously, I'm saying what the internet has said for years, but I do think Emily Blunt would make a good Invisible Woman too. And obviously, they're married. They have the chemistry that could play out well. Now, and I mean, your Human Torch. You need kind of a comedy guy. Oh, I would love to see him bring back Chris Evans. Just even if he's like a variant, and like you see him for like 3 seconds, like that would be great. But they got to nail that, and they've got to nail Thing down. Thing he's the anchor of the whole team. To me, he's what makes it good. Like I said, in the first movies, you had a great version. In that third film, he was garbage. So I don't know. Like, I'm excited for it, but like I said, I think they already have their Fantastic Four cast and shot for a cameo or a 2-second scene in Ant-Man. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, how many times did Andrew Garfield say, "I'm not in Spider-Man. I'm not in the Spider-Man movie. I'm not in the Spider-Man movie. I'm not in the Spider-Man movie."
And then pictures come out, and he still says it. Yeah.
And he has the nerve to walk through that portal, and I'm like, "You motherfucker!" I didn't say that, but out loud in the theater, I said, "You lying face son of a bitch!" Like, I mean, I was cheering with. I mean, that's that's one of my favorite Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. They're not just going to tell us. They're not going to say anything. We're not going to. I don't know. It would kind of be a shame if that was all we really saw was just, that quick split second of John Krasinski being at least that version of Mr. Fantastic. I know it was a different universe anyway. That we at least got to see the Illuminati in some capacity with Professor X. Who still looked like Captain Picard, so that's I don't know.
I still think you'll see that we'll see him again. By the way, I don't think he's done either.
I don't know. I don't want to see him again to see him die again. I'm getting tired of that shit.
Yeah,
Damn it.
100%.
But yeah, maybe I don't care if that was just for funsies, sure. But I mean, if we do that, like you said, I would love to see him and Emily Blunt be the Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. That would be gold.
Right.
As for Human Torch and the Thing, I don't really know. We'll just have to see. But I think remember when way back in the I forget that it even happened half the time is Moon Knight. That castle looked oddly suspicious, and I'm like, who had a castle? It's Dr. Doom.
Yeah, but
I think some of the
his castle,
some of the crates that
his
were in
castle's
that
in
van
Latveria.
were actually in the thing too.
That's what'd you say, Frank?
Some the crates that were that van that he was in, like in episode 2 or 3. I think somebody had done a video on YouTube
Doom.
saying that like there was like Von Doom or something writing on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, where was he? He was in a different country. Like I don't know where in the hell he was. Because we didn't really. We just saw him kind of. He was just there and kind of was like, "Oh hey," and then took off into town.
Well, I mean, Victor Von Doom. He needs his. You could do a series of his origins just on on Disney Plus alone.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be great going from the story about his mother's soul being took, and that's why he developed some magical powers. That's the one thing that they need to do is nail down the magic. That's what makes him different from Iron Man or anybody else that wears a suit of armor. You know what I mean? Yes, he has technology, but it's based in magic. That's what makes him so different. And with them playing with the Agathas and the Scarlet Witches and the Lokis, they can go the magic route with him, and it'll fit. It won't be sticking out. You know what I mean?
And then there's kind of your jumping off point for the Fantastic Four. So
100%.
That's what I'm saying. This could work if that little tidbit was to be believed in Moon Knight that was Von Doom's castle and those little boxes that were in the truck said Von Doom. I'm like, well, there's maybe our hint sprinkled in that it might be there, and that's kind of where we go with it. So I don't know. It's exciting. I just don't want to get him see him get spaghettified again. That was weird.
Smartest man alive my ass.
That to me is one of the. That to me
pissed me off.
That's one of the reasons we're probably going to get John Krasinski back, because I feel like they're going to feel like they owe us one because of the way he got shredded like fucking Parmesan cheese in that movie.
Yeah,
I don't know. Cora, what do you think?
I think it doesn't matter in the end. I like John Krasinski. I think they're just going to do what they think is best, and I don't think they're going to give a shit about what we think. But I don't know. I have to be very honest. I know it's unpopular. I love the original Fantastic Four movies. I still like.
They were good.
Silver Surfer was, but
I don't know
except
why.
Galactus is not a cloud, though.
It just to me feels
weird.
Stupid. I don't know why we're redoing Fantastic Four. I don't know why we're redoing X-Men. It was good enough. I don't know why we have to do more of it.
Because money. That's why you should.
Well, to be fair. X-Men kind of went off the damn rails, and we tried to fix it. And
I don't know. I
don't know. But... I liked it because, like I said, I grew up with X-Men, and then like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like, and I even watched that god awful Hulk movie from 2004. But
I like that Hulk movie.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a kid. I don't really care. I'm like, yeah, Hulk smash. Woo! He just hucks a tank across the desert. I'm like, yes. Woo! Now him punching.
I liked Howard the Duck when I was a kid, so what do I know?
I'm saying him punching a dog in the nuts was a little weird in that movie, but hey, I didn't care. So I don't know. I want to see those things actually be good. And like I said, when I got a little older down the road, there it was Fantastic Four. So I'm like, okay. And then I didn't dare watch the 2015 one because I don't even know. I don't think they even knew what that was. So I think they were just making it up when they said action. Just do stuff. We'll get it. We'll fix the post.
Do y'all think that? Because I mean, we've been hearing for a long time that the Fantastic Four movies, since they are Marvel's first family, they will be a team like out of the '60s or whatever, and they've been in the quantum realm for all of this time. That's why we haven't seen them. and that's why I say that they will be in the Ant-Man film. Do y'all think that's a possibility or just internet hearsay?
Is it just going to be like the TVA? Why didn't I hear about this before? Because you didn't need to. Oh, okay.
Right. What'd you say, Frank?
That was awesome.
I think there's going to be some stuff in Ant-Man Quantumania that kind of starts to set the stage for Fantastic Four, but I don't think they're going to be in it. Like I said, it's a bad time to announce who's even playing these roles. I mean, you're talking about not even filming this thing for a year. You're talking it's not coming out until 2025. Why would you announce any casting now? Why would you announce anything now? I mean,
Actually,
I said, I can see them setting the stage for something in Ant-Man Quantumania, but not giving us any ideas to who's actually playing the roles.
It would be a great joke. Wasn't there a Fantastic Four movie like in the 90s? Actually,
Roger Corman tried to, Roger Corman had the rights to make one, and he started making it, but it was so awful it never got finished. It was.
I was gonna say, just show them in those god awful suits from like the 90s. That'd be a funny quip. You just see them like, "Hey, goodbye."
Right. Yeah. No, it was not good. I don't know, but I mean, there is one thing to consider here, though. I mean, Frank. I mean, even as you said multiple times, we've got 2 years backed up worth of movie stuff. We don't know if they didn't have the Fantastic Four cast, or if the pandemic didn't happen, this movie's probably already out by now. So that being said, they may have already shot something for this movie that we don't even know about. Like I said, a 2-second cameo where we see them in the quantum realm, and then poof, Ant-Man's off with Kang to do something else. That's why I say it's a possibility. You know what I mean?
They hadn't cast it yet, so they can't shoot any kind of cameo.
Not that we know of. I mean, anything's possible. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think they're going to announce who's playing these roles by dropping in a cameo. They want to walk into Comic-Con. They want Kevin Feige to walk up there and here's what we're doing in the next couple of years. Give us a little state of the MCU address, and then be like, oh, by the way, do you want to see who's going to be the first family of Marvel? And that's going to be the pop. They want that pop. You don't get that pop if you drop it in a post-credit scene in Ant-Man.
Yeah, like
you don't get that.
They
pop
can do the same thing with the X-Men,
whatever. No, I think they want that buzz. They want that explosion of fan euphoria, like they're going to get at Comic-Con or like they're going to get at D23 or something like that. They want that because that's what you'll take away from it. That is what is going to help write out a lot of news cycles. That's what helps you chew up a lot of the media. That's going to blow up on the internet, on YouTube, on all the trade magazines and newspapers. That's going to carry for weeks, and you're not going to get that kind of a pop if you're also sharing that attention with just what happened in the movie. Because from what I've heard, Kang is like a Thanos level villain.
Yeah.
So you don't want Kang to overshadow the first introduction of, even if you just run Reed Richards out there, even if you just run John Krasinski out there in a post-credit scene and just to let people know that he's playing Reed Richards, you're still going to get buried under everything that supposedly that we're getting from Kang. So you want that to be its own thing. You want to send that out there. You want it to light the world on fire. And I don't think it happens if you do it in a post-credit scene, especially for Ant-Man. It's how good I've heard Jonathan Majors is.
Well, let's also not forget that Kang is a great grandson of Reed and Sue Richards. So I mean, there is a family. Well, as far as we know, like I said, I mean, and since they're using Kang,
probably not in the movies. The movies are not direct adaptations. They've changed a lot about the movies already.
That is true, but they'd be real stupid to not bring that element of the character to the screen, considering how important it is. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see, but either way, I'm excited for this film. I do want to see it. It's like I said, I've been wanting Dr. Doom for a long time, and I want a menacing. Dr. Doom needs to be a Thanos level threat because he legitimately is. There have been times in Marvel Comics where it took the entire Avengers to take him down. He doesn't need to be like a one-off fill-in or anything else. Look also what we have coming. We have Marvel's Secret Wars. Dr. Doom is integral to that plot too. So we have to have him for this unless they make some major changes, which they'd be stupid for, but it is what it is. But I want this movie to be good. This is one I need Marvel to nail. I don't take any major risks. Just put the product out because it'll be a success. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, but obviously we care about what you guys think. So go down in the comments below, let us know. Are you guys excited for Fantastic Four? I sure am. I'm interested to see what they do with all this. Also, I'm going to be watching Comic-Con really, really closely in July because I have a feeling that because Disney kind of took it easy last year at Comic-Con, I think this year they're coming out swinging because there's way too many projects that are coming out in the next 18 months that they're going to want to. They're really going to want to go out there with. So that's going to make and DC is probably going to have a lot of big stuff too. So I have a feeling it's going to be a slugfest between those two to see who wins Comic-Con. So that's going to be a fun one. I really wish I could go to that one, but I'm definitely not going to be able to make it out there for. But I'm definitely not going to be able to plan that trip between now and July. But yeah, that's going to be a fun one to see. But go to the comments below. Let us know what you guys think about Matt Shackman saying that he's going to be all in on Fantastic Four from now until what, Valentine's Day of 2025, I think he said. That's going to be his whole life. So let us know what you guys think. Lady Cora, what's the name we're going into tonight?
Cora, wake up.
Lady Cora.
And she's dead.
I'm talking. Was I muted? Shit.
Yes.
Probably.
Oh, well. I'll start over. This is what I'm really excited about.
Okay.
It was officially announced last year that Constantine 2 is finally happening, with Keanu Reeves coming back to play DC's John Constantine for an official sequel to the 2005 movie. But you may be wondering if these plans have been changed now that James Gunn and Peter Safran are restructuring the DC cinematic universe. The good news, yes, it's still happening. A spokesperson for Warner Brothers confirmed to Entertainment Weekly that Constantine 2 is not scrapped. Entertainment Weekly just reported that today, squashing rumors to the contrary. No word yet on whether Constantine 2 will be part of the mainline DC universe or if it will exist in the quote Elseworld space. But for now, it's great to hear that it's still in the works. Francis Lawrence is returning to direct the brand new Constantine adventure. Tex, are you excited to hear that the new Constantine's demise was premature? I know I am.
Oh, 100%. I've praised the first Constantine film on here numerous times. Like this was one of the films that I bought on DVD in Mexico before it was even out in theaters in America. I still have that DVD. But no, I really enjoyed this film. I love the color of the film, the presentation. The guy that plays the devil in this movie is my favorite devil that I've ever seen on screen. The white suit with the tattoos and that black ooze and the eye, the whole presentation of him was perfect. Keanu Reeves nailed the role. Obviously, for comic nerds, Constantine is British with blonde hair. Yes, we get that. But this version of Constantine works. I mean, it's Keanu Reeves. It's John Wick. It's the one. It's it's all of it. It's Keanu Reeves. Come on, he can't miss. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for this. The one thing I hope for, and much like with Swamp Thing, that it's in the mainline universe, because we know we're getting a Swamp Thing movie. If we can get a Constantine film, all we need now is a Zatanna, a Dead Man, and Etrigan the Demon. And we've got our Justice League Dark right there. That we are 2 of the 5 pieces away needed to make a Justice League Dark. Then we can get into all that. Even like a Madame Xanadu could work in that as whatever. But this is exciting to me, and I'm glad they're bringing back the original director because I want the same feel from the first movie. And this kind of feels like the forgotten DC movie at times. People don't ever talk about this, but I've always thought like this movie came too early. Maybe like if DC had just held off for a couple years, it might have been received better. But for whatever reason, it just didn't hit. So I don't know, but I'll be there for it. I mean, it's Keanu Reeves, man. It's Constantine. Let's go. Like Frank says, give me the movie now. I'm ready.
I don't know, Jeremy. What do you think? Do you think? At what point do you think we're actually going to see this thing hit the screen?
Well, I mean, I hope sooner than later. Honestly, I mean, that visual movie came out in what, like 2004?
2004 or 5.
Yeah. So I mean,
2000. Because I have Keanu stuff pulled up here. I want to say it was 2008, but I don't think that's right.
no,
it was either 04 or 05. I'm pretty sure.
I think that's too far. Yeah. Maybe even 2003, even maybe.
Oh.
Drum roll.
Constantine, 2005. February of 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're about due. Now, the only, I mean, I love Keanu Reeves. I wish I could, well, before I rephrase it, I have a patchy beard, but I wish I could rock an actual patchy beard like he does. I don't know how the hell he does it. It makes me so mad. I don't know how he makes it look so good. I do get people telling me that I look like Keanu Reeves in some way, so I'll take it. Now that I'm done with that. Now that we're maybe getting something more concrete in DC, this is nice because, like you said, it is kind of just forgotten. Like you just kind of don't really think about it being, part of DC or even, but it's my only problem is please don't, like when Matrix 4 came out, I'm like, oh look, it's John Wick in the Matrix. Please don't make this John Wick, with demons and angels and shit. Just it's gonna be too distracting.
Well,
I don't know.
I hope they give him more of a Constantine look with like make blonde highlights in the hair or something. Don't go full on bleached blonde like the comic book character is, but get somewhat closer to the source material. You know what I mean?
And I know we all gave him crap in that one movie. We're trying to do a British accent, and he wasn't very good at it. But I don't know. That was
I don't need the British accent. That's not. They can cut that from the character, and I would be okay with it. That's fine.
I'm not looking for it. Yeah. So
right. Yeah.
I don't know. This has the potential to be pretty badass. So, fingers crossed. I need to see it. I will gladly. Hey, maybe I would gladly rewatch the first one. I mean, if we want to do like a retro review on it, because I mean that was 2005, man. That feels like it was forever ago.
I don't think I've seen that movie in probably a decade, unfortunately.
Yeah, same. To be honest, I don't think I've seen it in a number of years.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cora. You seem pretty excited about the prospect of seeing another Constantine film. What are some of your thoughts?
Well, I just like the lore of it. I love the occult and kind of magical world of things and tying in some religion and faith to it. The special effects for the time were very good. I mean, even now watching it, the scene where the bugs are forming in the street as he's, getting the cough syrup out of the gas station. And the sound quality was amazing. Just like when he was rattling the box, the beetle in it. I don't know. All these, I've seen the movie probably 20 times. I'll be very honest. I love the movie. I want to see more of it. I'm also a big Keanu Reeves fan. Not because he's like a hottie per se, but he's just a great actor. Like he steps into a role and just makes it fantastic. And I don't know how do I say this? The sister thing with Rachel Weisz, and the suicides that was a little hard, but the rest
or whatever.
Yeah, the rest of it was fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of having like little portrayals in a thing of like God and the devil, and I loved the scene when he comes down in the suit and you see and I forget the actor who played the devil, but it's fucking fantastic.
Oh, he was the best part of the whole movie, no doubt.
I play the devil, but I'm like, I wish I could be that good.
Oh, that dude was menacing. I don't scare easily, and that dude intimidated me. I was like, "Yep, they did good." Okay.
If you were there, you would gently shit your pants too.
And how many people say that they actually surprised the devil? He's like, "Yeah, your son's right in there." No, he's not. He's like, "Huh?" And it's just, I don't know. The whole movie's great. I want more of it. I do worry that they're going to go stupid on it, like with some stupid plot that really isn't as tantalizing and interesting as the first movie was. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm hopeful it'll be great. So maybe make it a trilogy. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying is, if they're smart, James Gunn world builds with this. Tie it, somehow have the plot. Have the film take place in Louisiana, and he happens to go into a swamp, and guess who's there? There's Swamp Thing. Just do the Avengers thing where you have stupid cameos sprinkled about. It obviously works. Well, hey, let's copy success here.
There's a lot of voodoo shit down there though in Louisiana, so
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They have it. Don't have the original film took place in Los Angeles with the devil and his son and everything else. So you've done the devil thing. You have to go a different route. Well, there's a lot of Constantine comics that have been going on. Hellblazer comics or whatever it's called. So world build with this thing. You just go into it as if everybody knows who Constantine is. We don't need an origin story. That's what your first movie's for. Just press forward, and either the people know who he is, or they have to go back and watch the first one. That's how I would handle it.
Right.
But like I said, have it take place in Baton Rouge or New Orleans or something. And there's some voodoo stuff, and he goes through a New Orleans swamp and goes into the bayou, and there's
I
some
want Papa Midnight in it. 100%.
Papa Midnight. Madame Xanadu. Like I said, there is a ton of Justice League Dark members that can be used here. And, DC's got a darker magical side of villains that can be in this film if you want it to be more superhero-y. If the first Constantine, he battled the devil, well, this time he's battling another DC character. You can do that thing, too, and it works. So, I don't know. I want it's got to have – it needs to have a very similar feel to whatever Swamp Thing is going to have, because that's the world that this is going to exist in. So it's just like James Gunn said about Swamp Thing. Tonally, it's different, but it's in the same universe. That's the most important thing for this.
Agreed.
Well, to me, the thing is a couple-fold here. Number one is that I thought the first movie was good, not great. I don't love it the way that a lot of people love it. That wasn't bad, but it didn't blow me out. Didn't blow me away. You know what I mean? The other thing is I don't know what they expect this movie is going to do, because Keanu Reeves has got the same problem that Johnny Depp has. It's like everybody loves him as an actor, but he doesn't make a great deal of money at the box office. I'm looking at his box office right now, and if it's not John Wick or The Matrix, his shit makes really, really modest money. So I don't know if they want this to be a bigger deal, or if they think it's a bigger deal than it really is. Like, I don't know if maybe they think that because now that they're getting their shit together at DC, they're gonna go put Keanu Reeves back out there as Constantine because he's tremendously popular right now, whereas he maybe wasn't as popular when the first movie came out. Because the first movie came out, let me go to it real quick so I can look. Let's see, Constantine came out in February 2005. Before that, he had done The Matrix, and that was about it.
What was that?
Speed. He had Speed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was a bona fide star, but he wasn't John Wick yet. You know what I mean? And really, he hasn't done a movie that's made a big deal of money. Toy Story 4 made $1 billion, but he wasn't the lead of that movie. He was just a voice. But other than that, I'm looking
talk about Duke Kaboom that way.
Not saying he was bad. I'm just saying he wasn't exactly the lead.
I bought that damn pop figure, damn it, because it was Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, but really, you have to go back to late 2008 when The Day the Earth Still came out, and he played Klaatu. $237 million. Well, that's the biggest movie he's done, except for John Wick Chapter 3. John Wick Chapter 3 did $327. Other than that, DC Super Pets, which I don't know. I honestly still haven't seen that movie. But you have to go way back for him to get to the point where he's actually a box office draw the way that a lot of people think he is. And on top of that, he's kind of becoming. I'll compare him to another great actor. He's kind of becoming like Tom Cruise. He basically plays the same character in every movie now. That was one of my knocks on Bill and Ted Face the Music when it came out.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah, it's like I had trouble watching that movie and not seeing John Wick clean shaven. It's like that's all he is now. And it's like the goofy Southern California stoner, guitar player from the first couple of movies. I didn't really get that out of him in that movie, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit. It's like everything now, like look, you mentioned it, Jay, in the Matrix. It was like even in that movie, they tried to make him look like John Wick with the longer hair and the beard. They didn't give him a clean shaven haircut and make him look like the Neo that we all would. They tried to feed off of that John Wick vibe. And I feel like that's all they're using him for now. So if we end up getting this movie and this movie turns into long-haired, scruffy beard, John Wick-looking Constantine, then I think it's going to turn a lot of people off. It's going to turn me off. But, I don't know. I wasn't blown away by the first movie. I didn't really like the TV show all that much. I didn't watch it a whole lot, but it was because it just didn't appeal to me. You know what I mean? He was kind of
well. The TV show didn't have time to get started before they pulled it, though.
Well, there's a reason that they pulled it because it didn't resonate with anybody. There's a reason why TV shows fail. They don't resonate with anybody. So
the show wasn't good, but the guy that got to play Constantine was excellent. That's why whenever the CW picked it up,
very true.
Was his name Matt Smith or something? I can't remember his name now. They casted that role perfectly. He was the blonde British dude that, like, you didn't see him smoking as much because it was TV, standards and practices, whatever. But they casted him perfectly. That's the one thing that they did. But it's not Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves is the name. I know his movies don't make $1 billion at the box office, but he's still Keanu Reeves, and that's going to draw in at least 200 million or plus more. You know what I mean? Just because of who he is. And it's a DC movie. And if, like I said, if they're smart, they world build, they fill it out.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the movie can't be profitable. If you're going to try to make this $200 million movie, you're already going to shoot yourself in the foot. If you keep the budget down, make this thing for 50 to 75 million, you're probably going to do well enough with this. Market it wisely. Don't go buy any Super Bowl spots for this thing. But if you do a decent marketing campaign, you can make money with this. But I don't like I said, I don't really know whose decision this was. I feel like Gunn and Safran probably just didn't care. I feel like the reason why they're letting like Matt Reeves' Batman happen and another Joker movie happen is because those movies made a ton of money. And they know that they're like, well, I'll go ahead and deal with these things being around because they're going to profit enough to help me make 3 or 4 of my movies that I want to make. So we'll go ahead and just kind of deal with it. We'll call them Elseworlds. We'll call them expanded universe is what they did in, or Legends, or whatever they're doing in Star Wars now.
Legends.
So I feel like that's why that's happening, because if the Batman and Joker would have come out and made a modest like 400 or 500 million, I'm pretty sure James Gunn would roll in there and be like, yeah, we're not doing this. I want one universe with one guy playing one character. We're gonna go through with that. I don't know. I'm not over the moon with their Constantine, but I'll give it a go because creatively there's things you can do with it. It doesn't blow me away. I'm not over enthused. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't.
Would you be more likely to watch this than the I Know What You Did Last Summer thing?
Yeah, because there are things about the Constantine.
Okay.
Well, there are things about the first Constantine movie that I liked, whereas the other movie that I Know What You Did Last Summer, I just kind of I sat through the whole movie with my arms crossed, like, really? So there were elements there that I think can be built on, and it's Keanu Reeves. Let's face it. Even in bad movies, Keanu Reeves is fun to watch. I'm a straight white male, but I have a man crush on Keanu Reeves. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll watch it.
I'm not going that far.
Give me a trailer that looks good. Yeah, give me a trailer that looks good. I'll be like, okay, give me some good stories, some good effects. Give me Keanu doing what Keanu does. I'll be like, okay, if that's a good trailer, then I'm fine. I'll be like, okay, I'll go check this out in theater. But again, it's they're gonna have to step it up somehow for me, and I don't.
Oh, first question out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was gonna say is that this has been a cult classic since it came out. It never. This came out before the superhero boom. This was, kind of like a predecessor to what, the big hits were, the Marvels, the Iron Mans, blah, 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 whatever. Right? And I'm not even sure how much of the general public even knew about Constantine prior to the movie or even after the film coming out, to be honest with you. And I mean, because when you watch that movie, if you didn't know it was a superhero, you wouldn't have any idea. You would have just thought it was some kind of priest that kind of had superpowers. Is really all that he was. So knowing
he is one of the more obscure characters.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you went out and just asked the general public, who is the Justice League Dark? I'm going to guess 8 out of 10 people aren't even going to know. And Constantine, he's one of their members. But the world that we live in now has been so seasoned with superheroes and 5 different Batman and 3 different of this and 4 different Spider-Man, whatever, that people would accept this movie more now than they did back then. Just like I think with another Warner Brothers superhero film that I love, but didn't really receive the attention that I thought it should, and that was Watchmen, because that also came out prior to the superhero boom. But I think if you release both Constantine and Watchmen as new films and nobody had seen them before, and today, those are billion-dollar movies. At least Watchmen, not Constantine. But Watchmen would be a billion-dollar movie. I have no doubt about that. But now, with, like I said, with the world that we live in and everything else, plus Keanu Reeves, I mean, you've got John Wick, he's Neo, he's all the things, right? This movie will be a success. Like you said, make it for cheap, make it dark, make it creepy, give it that horror vibe that, you know, DC's going to do for Swamp Thing. Make it for cheap, and you've got a success. You know, it's not hard to do.
I agree.
Yeah, but obviously we care about what you guys think. So go down in the comments below and let us know if you're excited to see Constantine 2, which has not been killed by the new leadership over at Warner Brothers. It is actually still moving forward. When we're going to get a chance to see it on screen, we have no idea as of yet, but they said that it is still in active development, even though I think it's been taken off in your official release counter, but they do still want to push it forward to see what they can get out of it. So we'll see what happens with that as we move forward. Go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think. Lady Cora, what's the next topic we'll be going into tonight?
Well, Disney is doubling down on its animated franchise. Disney's New Again CEO Bob Iger teased that more installments are in the works for Toy Story, Frozen, and Zootopia. On an earnings call Wednesday, Iger told investors these future films were an example of how, quote, we are leaning into our unrivaled brands, end quote. Throughout the call, he stressed again and again the importance of curating the company's marquee brands and franchises. Toy Story and Frozen are proven moneymakers for the Mouse House, and a Zootopia sequel has been in the works for years, after the film made $1 billion at the box office in 2016. Frank, what do you think of Disney going back to its proven franchises?
Well, all of these things made $1 billion. So, yeah, what do you think he's going to do? I mean, the guy's job is to help make money for stockholders. So he's going to lean on the stuff that are the cash cows, and he's going to try to use that to help build the brand so they can sell some of this other stuff. The one thing that worries me about Zootopia is it's only one movie. It did really, really well, and it was a really fun movie to watch, but it's only one movie. So I'm intrigued the fact that he wants to run to a sequel about that. Toy Story kind of worries me a bit too, because the Lightyear movie that came out last year or whatever it is didn't do very well. Not only did it not do very well financially, a lot of people just didn't like it. They said it wasn't that good. Now, granted, there was a lot of things different. It was not necessarily in the Toy Story universe. He wasn't one of Andy's toys. It was actually a space thing. So very different, but same characters nonetheless. The other one, Frozen, I mean, come on, it's a moneymaker. I mean, everybody's going to take their kids to go see that, their little daughters to go see that movie. My daughters probably see both those movies about 700 times. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. But, I mean, honestly, a part of me thinks that he made this announcement to try to hide the fact that he's cutting 7,000 jobs in order to streamline.
Look over here. Yeah. Look over here. Don't notice this.
I don't know how you want to get all this done.
Look at the shiny Toy Story thing. 7,000 of you are fired, but whatever. But this is what brought Bob Iger back to do. This is what they brought Bob Iger back to do, was to get the shit together in house, to clean it all up. He's he's focusing things on 3 different divisions again. He's kind of trimming the fat, and one of the ways you're going to do that is you're going to make sure you're putting production money into the stuff that is going to make you money, and not just kind of bandying around on stupid shit. Now they do still have a couple things coming. Also, the Strange World things didn't do very well. I mean, I know it caught a lot of shit for a lot of reasons that have nothing to do with its quality, but even the people that I read their reviews of the thing just weren't all that positive. Like, it wasn't all that great anyway. So you're coming off a couple of stinkers in Year and Strange Worlds. You got a couple coming up that people are confident in. So he wants to make sure a couple 3 really clear wins, as he kind of, these aren't going to come out until about the time he's handing the company off to whoever's going to be CEO next year.
I was about to say.
I
mean, he's on a limited time here.
It's going to take a couple of years to make these things happen,
isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So I think one of the things he wants to do is he wants to make sure that whoever he decides is going to step in and take over for him as CEO of Disney, that he's going to have bang, 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 3 winners right out of the gate, because it's going to make whoever he puts in that position, it's going to make their job a lot easier. It's going to give them a little bit of flexibility, even if they do kind of slip and trip a little bit here and there. It's going to give them some leeway to kind of get their footing. Kind of like, I think he kind of tried to do it with Chapek, or maybe he didn't. Maybe that's why Chapek failed so badly from the onset. But I mean, I don't know. Again, you're going back to your money makers, which I expect them to do. It's going to help clear a lot of capital for them, maybe to go buy some more stuff. I mean, look, there was this thing floating around out there that I know was 100% bullshit, that Disney was going to try to buy the Harry Potter franchise from Warner Brothers.
No.
There was a story about that out there about a week ago. I never did. So there's no way that there's no way that Warner's giving up that one. But I mean, so yeah, it's going to give them a lot of leeway, financial, corporate stuff. And like I said, it's going to be 3 projects that I'm pretty sure are going to be good wins right about the time where he's handing off the company to him to take over as CEO next. I don't know. Tex, what do you think?
If I never watch the Frozen movie ever again, I'll be perfectly okay, because that god-awful song, I can still hear it in my head from my daughter's CDs and toys that we had every single copy of, and had 10 toys that sang that stupid Let It Go song.
So I should never watch it since I've never seen it, Tex?
You should never watch it.
That's
one movie.
He just needs to let it go. It's okay.
Yes. No. I love me some Toy Story.
Hi.
Now, the last one, I mean, they kind of shit the bed on the last one. And then Lightyear was more than disappointing, but that is what it is. But if they get back to the heart of the story, there are very few Disney movies that I will sit down and watch. A few of them would be like Cars or the first 2 Toy Stories. I love both of those. I like, The Incredibles. I like those. That era of Pixar was really, really good. And if they want to make that $1 billion movie again, that's what they need to do. They need to bring back Tim Allen, bring back Tom Hanks, get the guys back together and tell a fun story. The Zootopia, I've never heard of that, I don't think.
I never saw it, but I heard it was better than some of the other stupid shit they made in recent years.
Yeah, I know nothing about that. That
big
must
time
be my radar,
but it's actually really fun. It went big time under the radar, but it's actually a pretty fun movie. It's on Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah,
it's a fun movie.
Well, I don't even remember my kids asking to watch that. So it must have missed them as well. I don't know, but I mean, obviously, Toy Story is a huge franchise. It's one of those movies that kind of defines a childhood for a lot of kids, right? Mm-hmm. So, out of the 3 things that they said here, I think that's going to be the bigger one. I mean, let's not forget, they did a Frozen 2 not too long ago, and it really wasn't that successful. It wasn't maybe half as big as the first one was.
I didn't even know they made a second one.
Yeah,
they kind of
did a second. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
the first one did 1.4 million at the box office. The second one did 1.2 billion at the box office. So pretty close, money wise.
Oh, I didn't. Were they that close? I didn't think the second one was as big. Okay, guess I was wrong. All right. Well, either way, but I don't know. To me, I would put more into the Toy Story, second Frozen, and then third Zootopia, because I mean, I don't know how big Zootopia is. I don't recall seeing any toys of it or stuffed animals or
It had a
T-shirts
great
on.
soundtrack text that had a Shakira song on it, and the soundtrack is how I even learned about it. So, I
The
don't
only
know.
thing I know about Shakira is her ass don't lie. So that's the only thing I know about.
Well,
Her
she
hips.
might go to
Other
jail,
than
but that's brought in Spain.
Her hips.
So who
That's
knows?
about all. For Shakira, that's all you really need. Now, just go watch the halftime show. That's all you need to worry about for Shakira. But
He watched the halftime show on mute. Don't lie to me.
she can be mute. She doesn't even have to be able to talk. That's all I need.
boy.
Just go out there and dance around. Just do your thing. It's
Got it.
okay. So, but no, it's I don't know. But it's like you said though. This is kind of the cheap, easy road to making a bunch of money. Because with these 3 franchises alone, they can manufacture the crap out of toys and lunchboxes and merchandise. Whatever they want to do. So this is, it's an easy thing for Disney to do. I'm not surprised here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got more. Hey, I'd like another Cars movie. Give me another Cars movie that's actually based around racing, not
Why
some
don't they make a
spy
Cars
thriller.
like Disney Plus TV series like they did with Marvel stuff? Like, get us excited
Did they
about
do
it.
a Cars thing on Disney Plus around?
I think they
around
did.
Terminator?
They did something with Cars.
Yeah.
I don't have Disney Plus, so I didn't catch it. But revive Cars and make it about racing again. Like Cars 2 was
Oh man.
Cars 2 was like a James Bond spy thriller. I was like, what is this? This is not.
Yeah,
Kind of sounds like
weird.
a lot of people looked at that and they were like, "What are you doing with these characters?"
sounds like another franchise where it used to be about racing, then it became about spy and espionage shit. I don't know which franchise I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Maybe
it sounds like we're playing the same record here.
I think that it was a very furious franchise. I mean, it went by in a flash. Somebody would say fast it went by, but it is what it is. But I don't know.
I thought it was a family movie.
Get back to the heart of the car or of the Toy Story movie, though. Get back to Andy and all of that. But, whatever you're gonna do. That's what I do.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I wonder what their plans are for the future, because, like I said, a lot of this is going to be like I said, a lot of this is going to be about making sure whoever takes over the CEO chair of the job for Disney is going to have a couple of bangers right out of the gate, and try to set them up at least financially to maybe take some chances and do the wrong thing. But again, remember, the most important thing is not that these movies are going to make money. The most important thing is that he's going to streamline the creative process over at Disney. He's back to the 3 main groups. They talked about it in the article. They're back to the 3 main groups, and he's giving creative control back to the people like the John Favre's, the Maloney's, the Kevin Feige's, and he took it away from all these idiots that Bob Chapek gave it to, the pricks who don't know what it's like to create anything. They look at spreadsheets and they think they can make movies from that. So that's going to be the important thing. I think that's what he wants to do. Winners out of the gate, someone who knows to leave the power for creating the stuff in the hands of creatives and letting them do their thing and just handle the bottom line stuff. I always say, like in sports, the best owner is the one who signs the checks and let sports people make sports decisions. I think that's what he wants. I think that's what he's trying to do. He's like, you know what? I'm going to run the business shit. You creative shit guys handle the creative shit, and I'll give you a couple of winners right out of the gate, so you guys will be able to hopefully go on down a better path than what Bob Chapek had been doing. I don't know, but as for me, like I said, check out Zootopia. Go ahead.
I'm just surprised you didn't ask me what my opinion was, because I had a really great joke. I've been trying to segue into something here.
About the 90s?
No, Toy Story is from the 90s, but that's not where I'm not where I'm going with that. I was gonna say I'm sitting here wearing this shirt and I have to make a They Live joke somewhere. So I'm like, okay, now that we're in Disney, I think I need a better look at these so-called people that run this fucking business.
Do you have any chewing gum?
I don't.
Oh crap! He's gonna kick her ass. Run! He's out of gun. We're screwed.
I don't have like I probably can't do it on YouTube, but I don't have like a shotgun or anything. And all right. What I think that's a good point to bring up, that this is really just, hey, this is a nice fallback. We can just go on this, but every time you mess up, you can't be like, all right, gotta pull Toy Story 17 out of the box. All right, make the movie. You know what I mean?
I do.
I don't know where we're going with this, and I don't know what story we're going to tell, because I thought 1 and 2 of Toy Story are amazing. I love them. I think I will argue that Toy Story 2 has that T2 thing where it's like the sequel is better, if not just as good as the first one. I think Toy Story 2 is good.
I think I agree with you on that. I never saw the third one.
At best, it's as good, but it's not better. I will go that far.
Okay. I also say Shrek 2. Shrek 2's got the, if not as good, but better.
Oh no!
But I'll be very honest.
It's not better than Shrek 1. No.
That movie, The Brave Little Toaster, was if not as good, if not better than Toy Story. I mean,
well, that's a whole different.
What?
We're not talking about the 80s. Don't get Frank excited. Reel it back in. jump forward ahead. No.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. I was happy with those, and then 3 came out, and I was like, okay, makes sense. Kind of the send off for Andy, and we're, that's it. That's your core story, is Andy and the toys. So now he's off to college. Okay, just kind of leave it open ended. It's kind of the Indiana Jones, going off in the sunset. He's like, so long, partner. I'm like, shit. And then they're like, hey, we're gonna make a 4. You're doing what? Oh, okay. I watched it once, and then I don't know if I can really tell you what the hell happened.
It was weird. They made Little Bo Peep like the hero of the whole thing.
Huh.
The only thing that I liked about it was, it does hold more weight to the, like when Woody's freaking out in the first movie that, oh my God, I'm lost. I'm a lost toy now. Because I'm like, he has an owner. He has someone who cares for him. He has a life with this kid.
Right.
So now he doesn't have that. I'm like, well, what would happen to a lost toy? They're just out on their own, out on the road, just for their own survival. I'm like, seeing a community of all these like little lost toys that just do their own thing in like public parks and stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. I like seeing I know it's kind of cool to see like the other side of the world here. People, toys that don't have owners. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is like a weird dystopian kind of thing. I'm like, this is funny. And the circus, the little circus toys that were the prizes, which was hilarious. But I don't know where we go now. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Maybe somehow they figure out how to procreate in their toy babies.
I don't know.
Like,
my mom said have Andy have a kid. I'm like, I would have thought we would have already done that then. I don't know why we had to circle right back to.
Yeah, but Andy gives away Woody and Buzz to some other
girl.
Family. Yeah.
He does?
So
what the fuck?
Yeah, at the end of 3, he gives them away.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's going off to college. You're not really going to be his boys anymore. So he gives them to this little girl who would want to play with them too.
Or you save him in a box for when you fucking have your own kids, but whatever.
I'm saying. I feel like if we were going to do that, we should have already done it. But
they did it. They set it up to where they give it to the little girl. So if they want a sequel bait, hey, now we can do it with the little girl. Now that's what that ending was for. You know what I mean?
That was.
But I don't know.
I don't know, man.
The movie that I want's never going to happen. But everybody knows we need to cross over Toy Story with Chucky and Annabelle. This is what we need to see here. That's the film. If you want to reinvent Toy Story, throw some Annabelle in there, buddy. Then you got a movie, and then you can cross it over into that whole, Conjuring universe and get the Warrens and all of them. And here we go, buddy. We got new movies.
You need to tie in Indian in the Cupboard and Small Soldiers. Those toys.
I'll follow that too.
I read all the books.
Yeah. I want to see the Commandos get into a fight with Buzz Lightyear. Like, that'd be hilarious.
The Commandos versus Annabelle. Who wins that fight?
Oh boy.
Weirdly, that's one of those movies where I'm like, I kind of like the bad guys better. The Commandos are fucking hilarious. I love them. Yeah, the Gorgonites,
no,
whatever. But like, nah, man, the Commandos were the best part of that movie.
But
Um,
see, that's the thing. Okay, we've gotten away from Andy, who was the key to all of this. I mean, his name was on. Okay, I never wrote my name on my toys. I always found that weird watching those movies, but I guess that was just me. But
I wrote my name on my toys.
do we bring back Andy? Do we have it be his daughter? Is it obviously? I mean, I saw a tweet from Tim Allen today saying, "Can't wait to see you, Woody," or blah blah blah, whatever. So they're bringing back Buzz Lightyear and Woody because that's the whole franchise. But does like Andy find them at a yard sale, or maybe the family that he gave him to was his niece or something, and she gives them back to him or something?
It would feel weird, like we know we're going back to it because we have to, and
right.
I don't care how many, like Frank says, one line of dialogue, Mike, but it's got to be a good piece of dialogue. You can't just be like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That the little girl that he gave him to was his niece, and on the way to college, he didn't want to take Woody and Buzz, so he dropped him off with her. And then now the niece is 15 years old, and he finds them up in the box in the attic or something.
They're
he has kids.
Fucking toys. At some point, they break. I mean, the logic.
Well, hold on.
Well,
we never. You know what? No, hold on. We never saw. I mean, I don't know what. I'm still in Walking Dead, Last of Us mindset. I'm like, oh, we didn't see him die. I'm like, okay, hold on. It's a Pixar movie. Chill.
Well, to be fair,
we never saw what happened to Al, the toy collector who got Woody in the second
That
movie.
is true.
So I'm like, maybe his business tanked. He runs some pawn shop, and Andy walks in there, a middle-aged man, and sees his toy on the shelf and goes, "Hey, that's mine. I want it back." I don't know.
I can believe that the toys would last because I've still got plastic action figures from my childhood. And I'm 35 years old, so that's not the problem for me. The problem for me is, how did this entire toy collection stay together for 2+ decades? You know what I'm saying? It's not like they didn't survive. It's how did they not get separated or lost or something in the process? To me, that would be the biggest part. You know what I mean?
And as for Frozen, I was literally doing just fine in my life. Never seen that damn movie because I'm with Tex. I was tired of hearing that fucking song. I was tired of hearing that song.
You're talking about.
If I hear that song, I'm liable to go friendly fire on everybody. I'm just warning you now.
There was this girl did like a pop punk version of it that was really good. I liked it. However, I'm gonna have a conspiracy theory here that I'm pretty sure my friend cornered me because we went over to her friend's house to hang out, and their little daughter, who was probably on a 6, 7 at the time, that was of course her favorite movie that she watched 80 times a day, and it's every time is the first time. She's like,
people let their kids watch the same movie over and over again in the same day. What the fuck?
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, that's a normal thing.
No. This is what I'm saying.
I did.
Was I gonna play out in the mud?
Was I gonna tell that little girl no? That was some bullshit. I didn't like the situation I was in, so I had to sit there. Well, actually, Frank, you know who I'm talking about. It was Ashley who did that to me. So,
You're nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this.
But I watched the movie and I never watched the second one, and I'm like, okay, I don't really care. And I never watched Zootopia at all. So that was the hierarchy of where I was like, Toy Story? Okay, I mean, I can tell you about that. I've seen them all. First one, I watched the first one because I was forced to, basically, and then by a child. And then I never saw Zootopia. So.
When the
forced to by a child. I'm sorry, it's just really.
When the first Frozen came out,
I was gonna bring it up.
I'm
not a complete asshole, Cora. Come on, I'm not a complete ass.
No, you're actually a really nice guy. You're not Tex.
I had the portable DVD players attached to the front seat of my truck. You know, they hung off the backside of the front seat, right? And this was when Frozen came out, and my kids were all about it. They had literally the dolls sang the song. We had the soundtrack CD that somebody bought. We had 4 copies of that godforsaken DVD. So many things. So I can't tell you how many times I would be driving down the road, hearing that soundtrack in my head over and over and over again. And every time I got on the highway, I thought about just flooring it into the incoming traffic to just end it all. Like I was
gonna let it go.
We were about to let it go. I was about to go the way of Sons of Anarchy. Just hands
gonna
up in
let-
the air, buddy. We're out of here.
He was gonna let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah,
I don't-
somebody, because I'm letting go of it. You know what I mean? But,
I don't look. My only thought about this was I don't know. My other thing is who is this for? Who I mean, like we were just saying,
It's for the shareholders. This is
Well,
guaranteed
no.
money to bring the profit margin so that Bob Iger gets thumbs up from everybody so that he can handpick who his replacement is with no argument. Because he'll be so successful bringing the money in, nobody will question what he wants to do.
I know that. I mean, from the
I don't think they care, Jeremy. I think they just want to make the money.
I know, and that's what it seems. I put these on. Some of them looking like aliens, and some of them aren't. I'm just saying. This is a fantastic movie, by the way. If anyone has not seen it, go watch it. I'm telling you, it's still relevant today, which is sad, but it's also the point that makes it good because it's relevant. That was whatever. I mean, in the fact that I grew up as a kid watching Toy Story, so that's what I mean. But I'm like, is this for? I had this discussion with her. I was like, is this now? Is it also like now? Like Tex was saying, like you got a kid who just sit there and like you've got all the toys, you've watched the movies, you've done all, Is it now for people like my age that have had kids and they're somewhat younger, and now it's like, oh, now it's this, and now they have this whole thing to watch. Like, oh yeah, I watched this when I was a kid, and now they're watching it. Is that what? Is it? Does it feel like they're making it for
nostalgia or for new
both?
viewers? You mean?
Yeah, I guess something like that. Like I mean,
what's the motive? Yeah.
I mean, like with Incredibles, it was like what? How many years apart? Like 10, 15 years apart?
I only saw the first one.
Second one wasn't bad. It was but that's what I mean. I was a young kid when I saw the first one, and then I will admit, when I was in the theater, there was a whole family dressed in the shirt, like Incredible shirt. That was awesome. Well, Mom, Dad, and both kids. And I'm like, that is hilarious. Well, and the parents, his said, "Where's my super suit?" And like the mom's was like the rebuttal or something like that. She was like, "Fuck, I'm the greatest good you'll ever get." Or something
when
like
you and Rachel have kids someday, you are going to be those parents, right? That do that cool shit for your kids out in public.
Or I'm just going to ruin all my other friends' kids if they have to have us watch them. I'm like, well, they're not going to come back the same way. So.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. Obviously, Iger is going for sequel bait nostalgia here, right? So we have Toy Story that has a huge following. We have Frozen that has a huge following. But once again, Zootopia is the thumb that stands out here. It doesn't match. Why not put in a Monsters Incorporated or one of the other Pixar properties that have a bigger
that's
impact?
Pixar. They have to pay more for that. I think with this, they own it. They get more of the profit.
Toy Story was Pixar too, wasn't it?
Toy Story is Pixar as well.
I know it's Disney Pixar now, but they were.
Yeah, but it's a Disney Pixar film. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're, go do A Bug's Life, that's a bigger name than a Zootopia.
That'd be
there are so many other, but Zootopia to me, it's like, why? Like, I mean, I guess if it may, I don't know. I mean, like I said, maybe that just didn't register for, I guess Cora or I, but there's other bigger names. If they want to bring in rake in a whole bunch of money, Disney's got the IP to do this with. Why not pick something bigger? But I guess they feel like they've got some. Maybe they've already got a good concept or something.
Well, it's not that Bug's Life does not stand out because it's an odd man out. Zootopia rather doesn't stand out because it's the odd man out. It made $1 billion. It made almost as much money as Frozen 2. Bug's Life, by comparison, made $363 million. So,
there you go.
I mean,
in the mid-90s, they would decide to go back to that IP.
You can't argue with the numbers. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But no, it's just Bob Iger wants to make sure there's a couple of bangers that he's going to be making his way out the door for his second and hopefully final retirement. and he wants to make sure that they're going to be set up moving forward. I have a feeling he already has 2 or 3 names in mind. That he probably 1 or 2 from in the company, maybe 1 from outside of the company that he wants to bring in, but he's slow rolling it and trying to do his diligence on this before he decides to actually announce anything. But it'll be another year or so before we end up finding out who takes over. He just wants to make sure that they're on solid footing when they do take over Disney. I think that's what this is all about. But yeah, all I know is they're 3 great properties that they can make a ton of money off of, and they're 3 properties that are good as well. I haven't exactly watched the Frozen movies, but I assume they're good because they make a lot of money and people love them. But go down in the comments below, let us know what you guys think. Which one of these sequels are you more interested in? Me personally, I'm a little more interested in Zootopia because I already know that Toy Story is good. Frozen is what it is, but I think Zootopia is one that kind of flew under a lot of people's radar. They didn't go to see it unless they had kids. It's actually a really funny movie to watch. It's not. There's not a lot of double entendre. There's not a lot of jokes that adults will get and kids won't. It's just a fun movie to watch. It really is. It's a good watch. It's a good way to burn a couple hours if you're a grown up and you want to sit there and watch something your kids will like, but won't make you want to slam your own head in the door. You know what I mean? But go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Cora, what's the next topic we'll be going to tonight, Lady Cora?
Slamming your head in the door. Sorry. Oh boy. It's time to step back into Rydell High, and the Pink Ladies are doing it on their own terms. Everything beloved about Grease is returning in the new Paramount Plus series. Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. The official trailer teases a glimpse into the 1954 to 1955 school year, and it's filled with love, drama, and of course, songs. Frank, what did you think of the trailer for Rise of the Pink Ladies?
He loved it.
You know, I thought it was going to be a long time before I saw a trailer that was as bad as the Munsters trailer.
Oh, you shut your filthy mouth, sir. You shut your filthy mouth.
The whole Munsters movie was terrible, let's be honest.
Cora, you're off the show. You're out of here.
Well, I mean, the Munsters movie ended up being not so terrible, but the trailer was pure trash. It was pure garbage. This trailer,
I hate all of you
was
except
not a
Jeremy
whole
right
lot better.
I didn't say a word.
I said except Jeremy.
I know.
This trailer was just not a whole lot better. I'm sitting here watching this, and I realize something that I've said it before. You can't recapture magic by accident. You can't design back to an IP that is, and it doesn't happen. You can remake a movie, however, but you're never going to remake another Wizard of Oz and have it work out the same way. You're never going to remake one of these Gone with the Wind. There's something that happens by accident that makes these movies stand the test of time. They've tried to dip back into the well of Grease many times. They had Grease 2, which was awful, just terrible. And it wasn't because it was bad acting. Got Michelle Pfeiffer in it. It was terrible. It was bad. They did the live production thing a couple of years ago on TV. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't anything fantastic. I mean, they've tried to do this a couple of times. It just hasn't worked out. And this trailer, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't good. I mean, there was not a whole lot about this that makes me feel like this is going to be worth watching. Now, and I hate to beat this guy. Look, I like the film. I like diversity and character diversity in the story. But there's been a couple things that come out. You know, we talked about Strange World didn't do very well for Disney a while back. One of the reasons why some of these things fail is because they force this diversity shit in there. I mean, and look at the trailer alone focuses solely on the black guy. You've got the Asian girl. You've got the Indian girl. I'm pretty sure the girl on the right's going to be a lesbian just looking at her. I don't know. You can yell at me all you want for book by its cover.
She's definitely
no one's yelling at you.
But so this whole thing has just got, I mean, it just looks like they're cramming it down our throats again. And this is where diversity goes really wrong. It's not diversity in storytelling. You're just cramming all these different characters in there and saying, look how woke we are. And I'm like, I don't mind it necessarily if the characters are good. Look, maybe the characters are going to be awesome. Maybe I'm not going to notice it because I'll give this a watch. The first episode or two. I'm sorry, it's got 1 or 2 episodes to get me. Pat, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it at all. It just looks like this was written to be a look how inclusive we are kind of show, and those shows have not done well. I know that they will tell you that the ratings are good for some of these shows, but they're not. None of them are top 50, and most of them aren't even top 100. And they're just bad, and it just looks to me like that's what this is going to be. And the reality is you look. The original movie from '78 is phenomenal. It's in the AFI top 100. It's in the National Film Registry for being important. And it's aside from all that, it's a great movie. It really is. But every time they've tried to return to this universe, it just hasn't worked. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. Just the first one was magical.
You can't catch grease lightning in a bottle twice.
Ooh.
Missed opportunity.
But not only is it lightning, but it's greased. You can't get all. But yeah, I just look. I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, "Oh yeah, diversity, blah blah blah," and they're going to love it because they're all woke idiots. But the reality is, if you're approaching this objectively, this just doesn't look good. Again, I'll watch the first episode or two, and maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll get drawn into the characters, but I have a feeling that that's all this trailer gave to me, and it's disappointing. I don't know, Cora. You like the original movie as much as I did.
I did, but I'll be honest. The reason Grease worked so well was the way the boys and the girls played off each other. And if they're just focusing on the girls, I think it's going to be boring as fuck.
Well, I don't necessarily mind the idea of origin story for the Pink Ladies. That's the promise. On the surface of it, I think there's some stuff there you could play with. But I think this is going to be less about that and more about, hey, we've got an Asian here in 1950s Los Angeles. We have an Indian girl in 1950s Los Angeles. And like I said, the girl on the right, I'm pretty sure is going to be a lesbian. She just got that look about her.
The traveling pants cast.
So basically, we're all just yeah. It may not be that entertaining. I don't know. It's just. I'm not look, like I said, on the surface, I think there's something you could do here, like how the Pink Ladies came to be. But this trailer doesn't give me a lot of hope for what this is going to be. I don't know, Jeremy, what do you think? I mean, I don't know if you guys even watched the trailer. I stumbled across it, and at first I was kind of like, okay, here's an interesting idea. What's this trailer going to look like? Going to look like ass. Jeremy, what do you think?
That's because I think a notification came up on my phone from you on Twitter. All it said was and I was like, oh crap, what happened? I clicked on it and it was you reacting to that, and I was very like, I just went nope, closed it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not gonna... I trust your judgment, and also I was like, nope, I don't. I expanded it to see what it was, and I'm like, nope, not touching that. I'm sorry, I'm not going there. I didn't bother watching it either, and honestly, that one shot you showed me, as soon as I saw that just now, I was like, oh no, I know what this is. We all know what this is. Just look at that fucking lineup. It's
garbage.
It is, and I'm like, I'm glad now people are at least kind of, that voice is now getting louder to realize this is stupid and we need to quit.
You're just rubbing it in her face. You're taking good, solid, like iconic, like movie entertainment lore,
just to put your message in,
taking it and just stripping it of its value to make a point. And I'm someone who floats on the line of being liberal or not, and even I'm saying this is getting to the point of bullshit. I mean,
so I'm saying even people who are
getting there.
Oh, calm down. I didn't ask you yet.
Sour cream, man. Sour cream.
She's gonna sabotage your steaks, man. She's gonna put them all in bags. She's gonna let your shit marinate in like sour cream.
To the camps, Cora. To the camps. Just get out of here.
Fucking with you, man. No.
I know.
It's I know what it is, and it's like he said. Like, I tried to give She-Hulk a chance. I even tried the first 2 episodes.
I didn't. Kudos to you.
I know. I tried the anime rule. It's like, yeah, you can watch 1 episode and be like, okay, that's meant to draw you in. That's got to have the good stuff to keep your attention. I'm like, now the second maybe the third sometimes episode is where you really like, okay, am I still going to stay here? I got to the second episode. I couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Now, the other thing I was going to talk about was Velma. I didn't watch that at all because I already knew it was bad.
I will not watch it.
Do not waste your fucking time. It's the same
I
problem.
haven't heard.
I
haven't heard a single person say anything good about that show.
No.
Here's the problem.
It's the same thing.
I support the LGBTQ community, but if you saying in the trying to market this that she's a lesbian is supposed to make you want to watch the show, then you don't have shit for quality of the show to begin with. Like, make it a part of her, but don't make that a highlight to make people go watch it.
Yeah, and I'm like, I already know. I'm like, oh look, she kind of almost totally looks like Mindy Kaling. Are you telling on yourself right now in this whole show? I know what it is. This is like the most self-insert shit I've ever heard of, and I'm getting tired of hearing them just whine about. And I hate to say it, you're in your Hollywood bubble of your stupid privileged life, or you have it so hard, and you got to sit here and bitch about it in a show. And I'm like, isn't this supposed to be about Scooby-Doo? Mm-hmm. What are we doing? What are we doing? Or it's actually apparently not. I don't know. I watched someone else review it and absolutely tear it apart because he's hilarious. But like,
that's awesome.
That's how I watched She-Hulk. Is I watched him. That's how I found him. He reviewed the episodes, so I kind of got the cliff notes on what the other episodes were about. And I'm like, I'm glad I stopped. And now I've watched him do. I'm waiting for the finale episode now of him reviewing Velma. I'm glad I didn't because it's not.
They have to stop taking a minority group or a group that they think is underrepresented and make that the sole focus and plot and content of something to the point they're excluding normalcy.
Well, and the only thing is like the only jokes that they have, which
do they even have a dog in it? Did
No.
they even have Scooby-Doo in it?
No. Do you want to know? I watched this guy's review. Do you want to know how they kind of got Scooby into it? There's no dog. There's no Great Dane. No nothing.
What?
Without trying to explain the plot.
No, it's okay.
There was this thing. There was an acronym for this thing. They're like, it's a weird, like they're taking people's brains out and they're like experimenting on it, like weird shit like that. Like their brains are in jars. And like the program, they even struggled to try to make the acronym work, but the acronym is Scooby. And I'm like, really? And it was an I, not a Y at the end.
Oh boy.
And of course, are you guys ready for the big bomb drop? Velma's sitting with a notepad. She's like, so what exactly does Scooby do? I'm like, kill yourself right now.
Oh no.
I'm like, you were actually serious and wrote that joke? I don't care if we get canceled on YouTube for me saying that. Fuck yourself.
I don't know. I'm right there with you. I will take the hit for you.
He showed that clip, and I was like, really? It doesn't like the 7th, 8th episode, whatever. I'm like, you waited all that wow. But also my point is that, like, you know, I know you want to make something different, make something edgy or whatever the fuck you're doing for adults. But also, really, your only joke is, LOL, white people, am I right? And I'm like, oh my God.
What the fuck?
Their punching bag is obviously Fred. Like, that's all they do. They just fall back on, hey, Fred's like an adolescent and he has a small dick. And I'm not kidding. That is literally their punchline over and over and over and over. I'm like, what are we doing? Come on.
They're ruining entertainment is what they're doing.
Like I said, don't take something that people do like and then you just try to shove a message into it. That doesn't, no one wants to hear you. Look, I like inclusivity, but not to the expense of like you're killing off other.
No. This isn't exclusive. This isn't inclusivity. This is exclusivity in reverse.
I know it's like I watched someone just say
normalcy.
It's like, you know, when you try so hard to be one certain way, you kind of circle back and screw yourself in the ass by being that way. You're inversely kind of already being exclusive and racist.
100%.
So I never thought Mindy Kaling was like unfunny, but I didn't actually like find her hilarious. So
she's okay. She was funny in The Office. I don't
she's
know.
Okay. I think you fucking shot yourself in the foot now, but
she shouldn't get a job because she's not white on purpose. I don't know. I sound like an asshole when I say these things, but I don't really care.
We're all on the same page.
You kind of sound like me a little bit. How does that feel, Cora?
Well,
but you know, it's just.
I was about to say, Tex. You look like you're sitting on a couple of nuggets about this topic. What do you think?
Oh, go ahead. I'm done talking about it now. Go ahead.
We are now entering the toxic masculinity zone, so everybody's fasten your seatbelts and
Andrew
put your
Tate,
tray
he needs to
tables
go to
away.
jail.
Well,
Just
So-
saying.
Have
Well,
him buy another pizza. He'll go to jail.
shows like this are they're insert your Star Wars memes here. It's a trap, is what this is. This is a woke trap. You've got all your people of color are represented here, just like the one that's going to be a gay on the far right side. You know, people talk about inclusivity and representation, right? Well, do y'all realize in today's world, less than 10% of our population identifies with this LGBTQ thing, right? You want to be gay, go be gay. I don't care. But
Right.
that doesn't mean that every piece of media, every piece of property has to have one from each group. Everybody has to have a gay in it, and everybody must be represented.
Mm,
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
This show's not going to work. Number one, I would rather nail my balls to a step stool than watch a musical. No, thank you. I don't care if it's Grease. I don't care if it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm not interested. If you're sing talking, I'm getting out of here. I'm not in here. I'm not in for it. This show will flop just like Black Christmas did in 2019, just like Ghostbusters 2016 did, just like the newest Terminator film did. This is going to be another Captain Marvel level of wokeism that whenever it fails, they're going to blame white people. This is what is going to happen.
I was going to say that's the corner
Yeah.
right now because we're all disagreeing
Yeah.
with it, and they're like, "Oh, it's because you're white."
Right.
Like, no, it's because I see.
That's
through your
exactly what it's
bullshit.
going to be.
I got
At
the shades
some
on. I
point-
see through your bullshit.
At some point, I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear within interviews or media, this is not made for you. That phrase will be said at some
Okay,
point in
fine.
time, so just get ready for it. Oh, no, I'm just telling you what they're going to say.
No,
This
I'm
is-
like,
this
it's
is what
it's
they've
like,
done.
okay, maybe it's not, but I don't care. Like, just quit.
Right. Oh, no, I don't either. Yeah, I'm not going to watch this crap. I mean,
It's
if you
not
like
for me,
Grease,
but-
fine.
It's not for me,
Right.
but don't take punches at me in your fucking show. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like,
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. This is, with that Velma show, I love Scooby-Doo. I grew up on
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. I still watch Scooby-Doo from time to time.
I love
I
Scooby.
watched an episode and a half until I tapped out. I could not handle anymore because I was
Oh,
so
I'm proud of you.
mad
I couldn't do it.
that I was like, I never want to hear or see of this again. I even covered this with Rose over on his Less Than Serious a few weeks ago. This Grease thing. Has anybody ever said, "Oh, I love the pink ladies. I'm going to go be a pink lady for Halloween. I need more
No.
pink lady content." Has that ever happened? No. But this is something that it's a property that's well known, that they already have the rights to, that, oh, hey, this character is interesting. We're going to give them a backstory. Did y'all ever see the Teen Titans Go to the Movies, that animated film from DC?
No.
No, I never even heard Teen
No.
Titans.
Okay, well, in that,
Ah!
obviously the Teen Titans TV show, the newest one, it's very aware of itself. So, like, it's the DC superhero world, but each superhero has their own movies. And there's a scene where all the Teen Titans are sitting in the movie theater and they see, coming this summer, Alfred the movie, where Alfred gets a backstory, and then the Batmobile got a backstory movie. This is that kind of thing. Nobody needs a Pink Ladies TV show. You're not going to have Olivia Newton-John. She's dead.
Yeah.
John Travolta,
She is?
he doesn't look like he did in 78. So I doubt you're bringing him back. Why? This was made to fill up a streaming service, is what this was.
Right.
Nobody's going to watch this.
Like,
It's being put out, and it's going to be there, and 5 people will enjoy it, and great, I hope you do. Nobody else is going to care. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
I don't care if you expand your universe and go on some other characters
Right.
and shit. And even again, I don't care if you want to diversify it. But again, like I just got a bad vibe from that shot of them.
Okay,
like,
but
I know what you're gonna do here. I already know what you're gonna do.
But explain to me, how realistic is that? Every group, everybody is a different color, nationality, or sex, and every
How are we
group
gonna
is
have
equally
Westerns
represented.
Amazingly,
Right.
How are we ever going to do Westerns that are filmed that are
The
supposed to
only-
be period representative,
Except
where persons of color are the persons in the servitude positions, and the persons in power are Caucasian? How are you ever like? I'll give you an example.
it's
I
historically
didn't
accurate.
watch it, but there is some show on Netflix. Frank, you might know what it's called. It's kind of like a take on Downton Abbey and Jane Austen kind of stuff. And everybody was all excited about it because in it, being a period piece, they ignored nationality and gender and sexuality
Right.
in casting Bridgeport. That's
was it the Gilded Age?
Something like that.
Bridgeport. Okay.
Bridgerton.
Yeah, Bridgerton.
And
Bridgerton.
yeah, and it was like this big thing. It's like I would know watching it that a girl of Indian descent and birth would not be considered a noble in England in this time period. So it throws
But
me
that's
off.
racist. You can't think that anymore. That's not allowed. Everybody has to be everything
I
now.
feel like they can have these projects, and I will just choose maybe not to watch them because they drive me crazy. But I still think it should be wrong to have other projects be historically accurate, and there should be anything wrong with it.
Well, here's the problem, though. In 2023, you're not allowed to have a private club that not everybody is welcome to or should be at. Now, everybody has to be inclusive and brought into everything, except for certain things, like a Black Panther. That has to be led by a black male. That has to have an all-black cast. That has to have everything else. But if you make a movie about, let's say, the Justice League, okay, they've always been white. But now we have to include this version of that. Oh, this person now has to be a gay black version of what it used to be. There's a standard here that a lot of people, including myself, have been pointing out. We've been called racist, xenophobic, homophobic for calling out the tearing down of media for progressive sake, for inclusivity. Now, people who are just more moderate are now catching up. This is what I find so funny.
But even you, I know you, and I don't think you're a bigot. I don't think you're a racist.
No, I'm not a bigot.
And I know that you agree that, you know, they should be able to make content like this, and there are people that will want to watch it. It doesn't mean I will, but they shouldn't make it impossible or culturally shame people who make the content that's historically accurate. Now, I'll be honest.
I have
if
no
they were
issue
to make
with
a show that's about present day or future society, I think it should very much be representatively inclusive in a realistic way. But if you're talking about 300 years ago, fuck you if you think you're going to make it like today.
Right.
I'm just saying, you're not going to make a woman be the owner of a slave plantation. Women were not in that position of power back then. I mean, there's reality and then there's fiction. And at some point, there needs to be less of a blurry line.
You know what? I'm still going to play the fucking Hogwarts game. I don't care what the fuck you think about me. Because I'm not.
Right. Well, perfect example. J.K. Rowling said nothing wrong. She simply said that trans women should not be in prisons or in sports with biological women.
Well, let's be honest. Just like Jamie Lee Curtis, she should not have talked about it publicly if she's a public figure and wants people to buy her books.
Go ahead, Frank.
We're kind of drifting a little bit here, guys. Let's kind of get it back to center here.
Yeah,
we're drifting a little bit.
But see, that's the thing with.
But yeah, Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Okay. No, that's what I was going to say. This Grease thing, nobody's going to watch this. This is going to get put on Paramount Plus or Hulu or Netflix. 5 people will watch. Nobody will care. And then it's going to be forgotten. Yeah, it's not going to be. Well, we'll never see the numbers because, you know, it's a private deal. They don't put them out anymore. But nobody's going to care. So who gives a shit?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, but obviously we care about what you guys think. Go down in the comments below. Let us know. Have you guys seen the trailer for Rise of the Pink Ladies? Again, not a terrible concept, but the trailer did not look good. It was not good at all. But, you know, we did get one other trailer that dropped about an hour before we went live. I don't know if you noticed it, Jeremy. They dropped another trailer for John Wick Chapter 4. Did you get a chance to see it?
Shit. No, I didn't. I'm about to watch that.
I'm not. It doesn't show much. There's it doesn't really give away any more of the plot. It's just some more action pieces. A couple of things we've already seen. There's a new piece of dialogue with McShane's character. The guy that the concierge hotel. But
Winston.
There's another new piece of dialogue between them, which is kind of cool. Again, Winston. There's another piece of dialogue between them. It's new. It was a good trailer, not anything outrageous. Just they did drop a new one about an hour before we went live. I actually just stumbled across that as I was getting ready to go live, so I managed to get a quick glance at it before I jumped here into the stream. But yeah, that wasn't bad. So if you want to cleanse your palate with a decent trailer and you had to watch this one, go ahead and go watch the new John Wick trailer because we're pretty confident that movie is not going to disappoint. But before we get out here, I do want to talk about something MK Kratos put in the chat. He said that Disney Plus lost 2.4 million subscribers since the announcement yesterday. Reportedly, that would be the investors call that we've been talking about, where Bob Iger announced it. I actually looked into that. They did not lose 2.4 million subscribers yesterday. That is a bit of a misnomer.
Was it last month or something?
They lost 2.4 million subscribers in the first quarter of the fiscal year. Now, they also said that the vast majority of those are in India, and that they're not. So there's one thing I don't know if you guys realize this or not. Disney Plus does not just exist all over the world. In places in Europe, they don't have access to Disney Plus. They actually have all the Disney stuff is put out in this thing called Star. There's different streaming services that Disney goes through when they can't, because you can't just release a streaming service online and then have everybody get it. You have to go through different licensing in different countries. So there are some countries in Europe where they haven't been able to work out licensing things with those countries' governments. So they can't just put Disney Plus out there and make it available on the internet in those countries. So they have to go through different means. So it exists. It exists in different forms in like India, in Germany. I think it's different. Different countries in Europe, it exists differently than it exists for us here in the U.S. So they did say that most of those losses came from India, where they were having some kind of an issue with licensing or whatever, because India has always been one of those places that's really weird about how they let shit into their country and stuff like that. Generally, they're not so bad, but they're a little iffy. Also, you got to remember something about the streaming services is a lot of people will subscribe to a streaming service just to watch like one thing and dump it. I mean, it's like I know people that only sign up to Netflix I know people that only sign up to Netflix when the newest season of Stranger Things drops. They'll binge watch the shit for a week and then they cut their Netflix account. They're done. There's just nothing else on there they want to watch. Now, me personally, I like to have these things around. I float through them. I'll find things. There's TV shows on different things that I watch.
I'd love to keep Netflix around with new password shit. I don't know if they can.
The other thing is, a big part of it is also that this is kind of a dead period for releasing stuff on streaming services at the beginning of the year. Oh. So, I mean, like Black Panther came out, and that didn't, I mean, a lot of people went and saw it in the theater because they were curious to how they were going to handle Chadwick Boseman's death and the story and stuff like that, how if it was going to give any bigger things in the MCU. So that drew what it was going to drew in theaters. A lot of people were just going to wait for it to drop. So nobody was running to Disney Plus to sign up for that. But when they start, look, Mandalorian kicks off here in what, month and a half? I guarantee you're going to see Disney Plus's subscriptions go up here in about a month and a half, and we start getting Mandalorian episodes. But yeah, so yeah, it's the subscribers for all these streaming services we're hitting a weird time where we're coming out of the pandemic. You know, we're getting closer and closer to just 100% being done with it. I mean, essentially we kind of are, but I mean, as we come out of it in the waning days, a lot of people they all got big boosts because we were all stuck at home. What else were we going to do except subscribe to Disney Plus? Yeah. So we had to sit at home and watch movies. Now that that's not the thing anymore, then that's going to lead to a sharp decline in revenue and subscriptions for these. There's different ad tier stuff coming. Some of it is password sharing that they're coming down on. I mean, there's lots of things that play into it, but they did say that globally they have like 250,000 subscribers. So I think just in like one section. They had a big loss, but they explained it all the way. Bob Iger didn't seem very concerned about it. Not that he would show a lot of outward concern publicly anyway, especially to his investors, but he doesn't seem worried about it. And I trust Big Papa Iger when it comes to running Disney. Disagree as I might with some political stuff that Disney tries to put out there. I trust Iger. Bob Iger's the man. He's probably the best one they've had since Eisner, at least. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not worried about it. But like I said, once like Mandalorian's getting ready to come out, what else is coming out after that? Look, Secret Wars comes out in this summer, right? I think Secret Wars
Yeah.
drops
I don't
this
know.
summer.
Ant-Man comes out.
So
No, Secret Wars is
I mean on Disney Plus.
the film that's coming out. Secret. You mean Secret Invasion?
Well, Secret Invasion. That's what I meant. Yeah, Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion is coming out soon, so that's going to be out there. I mean, there's all kinds of Star Wars and Marvel stuff that's going to be dropping on Disney Plus.
Is Captain America going to be a show or a movie?
The new one's a film.
Oh, that's going to be a movie.
Film?
That's going to be a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
Orders a
there's
movie.
plenty of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, Loki season 2 comes out at some point this year. So I mean, those people are going to jump back on board to watch some of these properties. So that's just.
I'm holding out for more President Loki. God damn it!
Mhm.
They're
Let's
starting
get
to release
3
a
more
few clips.
seasons
There
of
was
Loki before we get anything else Disney.
there was another sizzle reel that came out with the investors call the other day that had a couple of new clips for Loki in it. One where he apparently is taking one of these pruning sticks that they have and jams it into a wall that has like a mosaic of the 3 Watchers or whatever, and it starts to dissolve the wall. And apparently that wall dissolves away and is showing something else. It is a big deal. I don't really know exactly what it was, but New Rockstars did a video about it where they kind of broke down that entire sizzle reel.
Nice.
Different stuff. They showed a couple of new things from Secret Invasion. So yeah, there's that little clip had a few things in it for Loki and for a couple of other things they're doing. So
Sweet.
yeah, and I watched it. New Rockstars did a breakdown of that whole thing. If you want to go check out their channel, they had a pretty good one. But yeah, that's us for tonight. I think we had a pretty good show. Again, plenty to talk about. You guys, let me know if you're at all interested in anything about Greece. I am not. but
tell me more.
Thanks to awesome Lady Cora. Where can folks find you?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I had to get one more. Sorry.
Where can the folks find you at home?
I'm traveling to
Or on
Vegas
the
and
internet,
back in the next 5 days. I won't be anywhere online. I bought a house, everybody. I talked about it jokingly. I found one this week. It was a fluke thing, finding this, and it had to move fast, and it's crazy. So, yeah. Got to drive to Vegas and back in 5 or 6 days. So,
Is it Grease
I'll be
Lightning
busy.
Path?
I'll be back by next Wednesday night, so I'll be here
Jeremy, you're
next Thursday.
canceled.
Probably. That's okay.
Anyways.
You know they ain't no
That's me.
shit. Women give lots of tit. Grease Lightning. Go read the lyrics to Grease Lightning, by the way. Go online. Go to lyrics.com. Look up the lyrics to Grease Lightning, and you'll blow your mind exactly how R-rated that song really is.
Yeah.
You know, wagon. She's a real pussy wagon. Well, how about you? My hero life made Jerry, you got going on, my friend?
Whew. It'll be amazing if we ever get this show monetized. Oh my god. Anyway, okay, hold on. He about distracted me with that. So I'm on this show, obviously on Thursdays, doing breakdowns of all this other interesting stuff that we, in the same vein of all the interesting stuff we talked about tonight. Maybe there'll be better stuff next week. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Actually, there's better stuff tomorrow. In fact, The Last of Us comes out tomorrow early because we all know people are going to watch that over the Super Bowl. So, we want to give them a chance.
Right.
You're not next. Shut up. Numbers don't lie, sir. No one will be watching the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We'll see. We'll see what the numbers are on Friday and on Sunday. You let me know.
Okay.
Anyway, so that was my segue. We also do reviews of The Last of Us every Tuesday or Monday, Wednesday, whenever the hell we feel like. So that's been a fun time. That's my favorite game. So quickly becoming one of my favorite shows as well. It's very faithful to the game, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And speaking of gaming, I'm just rolling with these segues. I have a YouTube too. You can see my name down there. It's the Grim Tuesday 23 on pretty much everything. YouTube. There's nothing there. Now that I mean, she's in there building a PC, so maybe that'll be an easier way to actually. I'll record the Last of Us game after the show ends, and then, like I said, we can compare notes. It'll be a fun time. I'll try to give the second game a chance too. I have no promises, so if you really want to watch me get kind of spicy with that game, there might be some foul language. And I also have a Twitch, which I do absolutely dick all with, but I have other games that are more streamy and some that are better suited for episodic things. So, also, Brooding Gamers thing is down there in the description. Don't want to leave him out. Again, still got some things in the works with him. So check him out. And also, you'll probably see my stupid face over there too. So if anything, you come for him, stay for me, or whatever.
And my man Tex, the shape for the Lone Star State. What do you got going on, my friend?
Well, it's @/Vision on Twitter. You can see it on screen. I put it on my name. Big weekend for me. I'm leaving in about 4 hours to go sell goats for the entire weekend. So that's why it's going to be a big full one for me. But I have my hands full, and I've busted my butt all week trying to be able to make it. So, it's probably won't be much internet things. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw out my Super Bowl prediction. I'm going to say Kansas City 21, Eagles 14. So fuck you, Eagles. So, I probably won't be live for the game.
Eagles.
So fuck the Eagles. Either way, like I said, I'll be selling goats, doing man things, and y'all have fun on the internet. So about it.
Real quick, I do want to thank all 15 of you who voted in the poll. And I'm sorry, Tex, but democracy has spoken. And 67% of 15 voters say that they do use A1 on steaks. So,
well, if 15 people jumped off a bridge, are you going to listen to them?
I want you to know I said no in that poll. I tried.
And that's why Jeremy's my favorite right now.
Tex, can I send you some sour cream?
I still say that.
No, okay. Why are you going to spend okay, here's the problem. Quickly. Let's say you spend $15 to $20 for a steak. You're going to go glop a whole bunch of A1 that costs you $3 a bottle.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to have to. I'm creating a YouTube channel just to make steak rants. I'm going to have my old man. All right? I've already got the recliner.
Probably let you borrow his.
I've already got the recliner. I guess I need my old man step stool too to preach to y'all about how wrong your sinful ways are. So.
I think that poll got review bombed. That's some crap because everyone else almost
said
no.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, Casey wasn't watching, so we can't blame it on Casey's 27.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that he wasn't watching. He could have been watching from one of these, alt accounts that he likes to have to sway things in the derailed days. So I'm just going to blame Casey as a general rule of thumb and move forward.
Yeah.
It's easier. Either way, this, as they say in Walking Dead, this is a dictatorship. All right, I'm Rick here in this situation.
Ain't a democracy anymore.
Just saying. There you go.
But yeah, thanks to all of you who voted in the poll.
To make that work.
What?
Yeah, because we're all a compliant bunch.
Right.
But,
Can't you tell? I wore this shirt today. You think I'm really that compliant? I don't obey.
Yeah.
Jeez. Watch this movie, seriously.
As for me, you can find me here every Thursday going over all the news that is happening in the world of TV streaming and movies. It's unlikely that I'm going live on Sunday. Because that's when me and Jennifer are going to have our Valentine's Day together. So if I do anything, it's going to be late. And I got to be absolutely honest, I have no interest in the Super Bowl. What I might do if I'm home is I might do some quick hits. Because there's supposed to be a shit ton of movie trailers that are coming out on Sunday.
I was gonna say trailers, commercials, yeah.
The Flash.
As these things come out, I may do some short videos real quick with my quick reaction, or maybe I don't know. Maybe at the end of the night, if any of you guys are free, maybe we can get together just break down some of the trailers, have some fun with it, or we can save it for next Thursday. We'll figure it out then. But yeah, I am not going to go live for the game Sunday probably because A, I've got plans, and B, I just really could care less who wins this game. Can they both lose the sports ball game? I would be just happy with that.
It's a
A 0-0
sports ball
tie.
game.
Is there even a game Sunday? I don't even know.
Let the cheerleaders win.
Yeah,
I'm no.
But I'm also looking at Tuesday probably for a Last of Us episode 5 review. So it'll be me and Jeremy for sure, and hopefully I'm gonna reach out to American Werewolf in New Jersey again to see if he can join us. Go check out his channel as well. I'll put his link in the description because I forgot to do it again for this one. But if you go back to the Last of Us video, the link is in there. Go check him out as well. He's doing his breakdowns as well. Usually he does his on like Monday. He does his a little bit sooner after the show than we do. But thanks all for hanging out. I very much appreciate it. Don't forget, we're on the road to 500 subscribers as soon as we get there. Charity stream for the Abandoned Pet Project. Again, help save pets. People went and got pets because they didn't really need them. They needed somebody to talk to during the pandemic. They were sending all these pets back to shelters, and a lot of them being put down just because there isn't room for them. The Abandoned Pet Project actually gets them sometimes hours away from being put to sleep, nurses them back to health, and helps them find their forever homes. So 500 subscribers, charity stream for the Abandoned Pet Project. Thank you guys very much again for coming to hang out. We very much appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time. Adios.
Don't you stay so.